December 18th. My hands were shaking as I pulled over on the highway. My son Michael was supposedly dying in a hospital 2 hours away. His wife Sarah had packed this bag for me yesterday. Such a thoughtful gesture, I thought. But when I unzipped it looking for water, I found something else. A black metal box. Blinking red light. Wires running along the edges. And the moment I accidentally flipped the switch, it started beeping. That's when I knew. Someone wanted me gone. And I had exactly one chance to figure out who before it was too late. But before I tell you what that device was and why my own family put it there, tell me, where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments. Let's connect. Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. 9:47 a.m. My house in Rockland County was quiet. The kind of quiet you get used to when you've lived alone for 7 years. My wife Margaret passed in 2017, and since then, it's just been me, this 4-bedroom colonial, and memories. I was at the kitchen table, reading the newspaper, drinking my second cup of coffee. Outside, frost covered the lawn. Inside, I was planning nothing more exciting than a grocery run and maybe watching some college basketball. Then my phone rang. The caller ID said Sarah Mobile. My daughter-in-law Dush. Odd timing. It was mid-morning on a Wednesday. They should both be at work. I picked up. Dad? Her voice was wrong. Shaking. Broken. Sarah, what's wrong? It's Michael. There's been an accident. My coffee cup froze halfway to my lips. What kind of accident? Car accident. We were driving back from the dentist and, Dad, it was bad. He's at Westchester Medical Center. The doctors say... She started sobbing so hard she couldn't finish the sentence. Sarah, slow down. What did the doctors say? They say he might not make it through today. You need to come. Now, please. The world tilted. Michael, my only son. The kid I taught to ride a bike, to drive, to be a man after his mother died. Now he was in an ICU somewhere, fighting for his life. I'm coming, I said. I'm leaving right now. Hurry, Dad. Please hurry. The line went dead. I didn't think. I just moved. Upstairs, bedroom, I grabbed my jacket. Then I remembered. Sarah and Michael had stopped by yesterday evening. We'd talked about taking a trip together next month, some family bonding time. Sarah had even packed a go bag for me. Said she wanted to make sure I was prepared for anything. Always thinking ahead, that one, I'd told her. Thank you, sweetheart. The bag was sitting on the chair by my bedroom window. Navy blue, medium-sized. I didn't check what was inside. Why would I? I just grabbed it, threw in my phone charger and my reading glasses. Keys. Wallet. Died. Coat. Dot. Garage. My Honda Accord, silver, reliable, 10 years old, sat waiting. I tossed the bag onto the passenger seat, started the engine, and backed out into the cold morning. Westchester Medical Center, Route 9 North. Then 287. I knew the way. About 90 minutes if I pushed it. I pushed it. Hold on, Michael. I'm coming. By 11:15, I was 45 minutes into the drive. Route 287 stretched ahead, light traffic for a Wednesday morning. My mind was racing faster than the speedometer. Michael, at 16, learning to drive in this same car. His nervous laugh when he stalled it the first time. His proud smile when he parallel parked perfectly on his road test. Michael, at 23, walking across the stage to get his degree. Business management. He'd worked so hard. Michael, at 28, introducing me to Sarah. Dad. She's the one. I know it. Now he was in a hospital bed. Maybe dying. Maybe already. No. Don't think that. Just drive. But something felt wrong. The steering wheel. There was a vibration I didn't recognize. A low hum coming up through the frame of the car. Not normal road noise. Something else. Something that made my mechanic's instincts kick in. And there was weight. The car felt heavier than usual, like I was towing something I couldn't see. I tried to ignore it. Probably just my imagination. Stress playing tricks. But my throat was dry. My head was pounding. I needed water. Then I remembered Sarah had packed water bottles. She'd said so. Made sure you have everything, Dad. Water, snacks, first aid kit. I saw a sign. Rest area, 2 miles. I took the exit. The rest area was nearly empty. A couple of semi-trucks at the far end, a minivan near the vending machines. I pulled into a spot away from everyone else, killed the engine, and reached for the bag. Unzipped the main compartment. Reached past the folded shirts for the water bottle. My hand touched something hard. Cold. Wild. Metal. I pulled it out. It was a black box, about the size of a hardcover book. Military-grade metal casing. Thin colored wires running along the edges. Red, blue, green, yellow. And on the top surface, a small lead light. Blinking red. On-die? Off. On-die. Off. I stared at it. What is this? My brain struggled for explanations. Some kind of medical device? A GPS tracker? But no, those didn't have wires like this. Those didn't blink like this. My thumb brushed against a small switch on the side. Click. Dot. The red light turned yellow. And then it started beeping. Fast. Urgent. Angry. My hands went numb. I set the device on the passenger seat like it was made of glass. My heart hammered against my ribs. This wasn't a GPS tracker. This was something else. And Sarah, my sweet, thoughtful daughter-in-law who'd packed this bag, had put it here. Or worse. Michael had. No. No, that's insane. They wouldn't. But the device kept beeping. The yellow light pulsed faster. And I remembered something. That vibration in the car. That extra weight. I looked down at my feet, at the floor of the car, and a terrible certainty settled into my chest. I pulled out my phone. I could call them. Ask what this was. There had to be an explanation. But something stopped me. An instinct I couldn't name. A voice in my head that said, "Don't call them." Not yet. 5 miles back, I'd passed a sign. Sheriff's office, next exit. I wrapped the device in one of the shirts from the bag, placed it carefully back inside, and zipped it closed. Started the engine. But I didn't get back on Route 287. I turned around. Headed for that exit I'd passed. I didn't call Michael. I didn't call Sarah. I drove toward the only people who might have answers. And the only ones I could still trust. The Rockland County Sheriff's Office was small. Single-story brick building. American flag on a pole out front. 4 patrol cars in the lot. I walked in carrying the bag. My hands were still shaking. A young deputy at the front desk looked up. Crew cut, fresh face, couldn't have been more than 25. "Can I help you, sir?" I set the bag on the counter. Unzipped it. Pulled out the device, still wrapped in the shirt. The yellow light blinked through the fabric. "I found this," I said. My voice sounded hollow. "In my bag. I don't know what it is." The deputy stared at it. His face went pale. "Sir, please don't touch it. Don't move." A door behind him opened. A woman stepped out, late 40s, sharp eyes, detective shield on her belt. Her name tag read, Det Martinez. She saw the device. Her expression changed instantly. "Everyone step back," she said. Her voice cut through the room like a blade. "Henderson, Call EOD. Tell them we have a possible remote trigger. Now. Now. EOD. Explosive Ordnance Disposal. The word hit me like a punch to the stomach. Martinez guided me outside into the cold. My legs felt like they might give out. "What's your name?" she asked. "Robert Chen." "Mr. Chen, where did you get that device?" "My bag. My daughter-in-law packed it yesterday. I was driving to the hospital. My son's been in an accident." "Or?" I thought he had. Martinez's eyes sharpened. "Who had access to your vehicle?" "My son and his wife." "But they wouldn't. They're family." "Michael's hurt," Sarah called me. She was crying. She said, Martinez held up a hand. "We'll get to that. Right now, I need you to stay calm." 20 minutes later, a black van pulled into the lot. 2 technicians in tactical gear stepped out, carrying equipment cases. They examined the device inside, spoke in low voices with Martinez. Then one of them came back out, walked to where I was sitting on a bench. "Detective, we need to check his vehicle." My Honda sat 30 feet away. The AOD team approached it carefully, using mirrors on poles to look underneath. One tech knelt, slid a small camera beneath the driver's side. He froze, stood up, motioned to Martinez. "You need to see this." Martinez walked over, looked. "Look." Her jaw tightened. She turned to me. "Mr. Chen, come here." I walked over on legs that barely worked. The tech held the mirror at an angle. "Look under the seat." I looked. There, attached to the underside of my seat, was a gray package. Wires. A small receiver. A blinking green light. "C4. The tech said quietly. "About 3 pounds. Enough to obliterate the vehicle and anyone inside. The device you found. That's the remote trigger." The world went sideways. I sat down hard on the pavement. My vision blurred. My chest felt like it was caving in. Martinez crouched beside me. "Mr. Chen, who had access to your car?" "My son," I whispered. "And his wife. Where are they right now?" "Westchester Medical Center. Michael was in an accident. Sarah called me. That's why I was driving." Martinez's expression shifted. "Mr. Chen, I think you need to call that hospital right now." She handed me her phone. My hands shook as I dialed. "Westchester Medical Center. How can I help you?" "My son. Michael Chen. He was brought in this morning. Car accident. Critical condition." Pause. "Let me check our admission." The seconds felt like hours. "Sir, I'm sorry. We have no patient by that name. No admissions today matching that description." The phone slipped from my hand, hit the pavement with a crack. Martinez picked it up, ended the call. She sat down beside me on the curb. "Mr. Chen," she said quietly, "I think someone wanted you gone, and I think you know who." I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. Michael wasn't at the hospital. He'd never been hurt, which meant everything had been a lie. The call, the panic, the tears in Sarah's voice, all of it designed to get me alone on the road, driving fast, desperate, so that when they pressed that button, I'd be going 70 miles an hour on the highway, and I'd vanish in an instant. My boy, the child I raised after his mother died, the kid I sacrificed everything for, had tried to kill me. An hour later, I sat in Martinez's office. It smelled like old coffee and stress. She slid a manila folder across the desk. "You need to see this." I opened it. The first page was a bank statement. Michael's name at the top. Red numbers everywhere. -$340,000. Your son owes over $300,000, Martinez said. Cryptocurrency investments that went bad. Credit cards maxed out. Personal loans. He's drowning. I stared at the numbers. How had I not known? Martinez pulled out another document. 2 weeks ago, a life insurance policy was activated in your name. $1.50 million. Beneficiary. Michael Chen. My hands went numb. I didn't sign that. We know. Forensics compared the signature. It's forged. Sarah's handwriting. She slid a printout across the desk. Screenshots of Google searches. How to make a remote detonator. C4 explosives where to buy. Untraceable insurance claim process. All from Sarah's laptop. All within the last month. She planned this, Martinez said. Every detail. I thought of Sarah. Sweet Sarah with her bright smile. The way she'd hugged me yesterday when they stopped by. Love you, Dad, she'd said. And Michael. My boy. Who'd called me just last week to ask how I was doing. Who'd said we should spend more time together. All of it a performance. All of it leading to this. What happens now? I asked. Martinez leaned forward. We can arrest them today. Attempted murder. Fraud. But here's the problem. They'll lawyer up. Claim it malfunctioned. Claim it was an accident. Claim you're confused. With a good attorney, they might walk in 5 years. 5 years. My voice cracked. They tried to kill me. I know. That's why I'm proposing something else. She pulled out a legal pad. Started writing. We stage your death. Make it look real. Let them think they succeeded. Then, when they go to collect that insurance money, when they walk into the insurance office confident and smiling, we'll be waiting. I looked at the folder. At the debt. At Sarah's searches. At the forged signature. They'd planned my death like a business transaction. Cold. Calculated. Final. Dot. Tell me what you need me to do, I said. Martinez nodded. Disappear. By 4:00 p.m., we were at an abandoned quarry, 20 miles outside town. Remote. Isolated. Perfect. My Honda sat in the center of a gravel clearing. The EOD team was preparing it. One tech placed a crash test dummy in the driver's seat. Dead weight to simulate a body. Another positioned my wallet and watch near the blast zone. Items that would survive. Items that would identify the victim. Me. I stood behind a concrete barrier, 200 yards back. Martinez was beside me. You sure you're ready? She asked. I wasn't. But I said, do it. The IOD chief spoke into his radio. All personnel clear. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The explosion tore through the quarry like thunder. A massive fireball erupted from beneath my car, orange and red and roaring black smoke spiraling into the December sky. The Honda lifted off the ground, flipped, crashed down in a twisted heap of burning metal. The sound echoed off the quarry walls. Sharp, dirty, brutal, final. That was supposed to be me. Burning. Gone. Erased. My knees buckled. Martinez steadied me. You okay? I wasn't sure I'd ever be okay again. That night, 7:00 p.m. I sat in a safe house across town. Small apartment. Bland furniture. A single window overlooking a parking lot. Martinez turned on the TV. Flipped to the local news. And there it was. Breaking news tonight. Robert Chen, 64, a retired engineer from Rockland County, died in a vehicle explosion on Route 287 this afternoon. Authorities say the cause is under investigation. Mr. Chen is survived by his son and daughter-in-law. My photo appeared on the screen. A picture from 3 years ago. Smiling. Alive dive. Beneath it. In memory. 1962. 1024. I stared at my own face. My own obituary. Martinez muted the TV. Now we wait. And we watch. She pulled out a laptop. We installed cameras. At the morgue. At your house. We'll see everything. 8:30 p.m. and now. On the laptop screen, I watched Michael and Sarah walk into the county morgue. Hidden cameras caught everything. Michael's face was red. Eyes swollen. Sarah was beside him, hand on his shoulder. She wore black. Hair pulled back. Picture perfect grief. Medical examiner led them to a table covered with a white sheet. Beneath it, a body. Not mine. A stand-in. Burned beyond recognition. The examiner pulled back the sheet. Michael stared, then turned away, hand over his mouth, shoulders shaking. That's my dad, he whispered. Sarah stepped forward, calm, controlled. She placed a hand on the sheet. Yes, she said softly. That's Robert. Michael collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Sarah knelt beside him, wrapping her arms around him. I watched from the safe house. My chest ached. Martinez glanced at me. You okay? I wasn't. But I nodded. 10:00 p.m. They were back at my house now. Martinez's team had installed cameras there too. Michael walked in first, tossed his coat on the couch. Sarah followed, closing the door. For a moment, neither moved. Then Sarah exhaled slowly. It's done, she said. Michael turned to her. His face wasn't red anymore. No tears. You're sure the policy's solid? He asked. Sarah smiled. Sharp. Cold. $1.50 million baby. Completely solid. We wait for the investigation to close. Then we file the claim. Michael sat on the couch. What if they figure it out? They won't. Sarah poured 2 glasses of whiskey. Handed one to him. The car's gone. He's gone. No witnesses. No evidence. She raised her glass. To freedom. Michael hesitated. Then clinked his glass against hers. To freedom. I watched them drink. Watched them smile. And I felt something cold and hard settle in my chest. Martinez looked at me. We've got enough. We can take them now. No, I said. Let them make the insurance claim. Let them sign the paperwork. Catch them in the act. She nodded. 3 more days. But we didn't wait 3 days. That night, 11:00 p.m., something happened. Michael and Sarah were upstairs, getting ready for bed. The house was dark, quiet. Then, from the living room, music started playing. Soft, gentle. Piano. Unforgettable. That's what you are. Nat King Cole. My wife's favorite song. The song we danced to at our wedding. Michael appeared at the top of the stairs, frowning. Did you turn on the radio? Sarah came out behind him. No, I thought you did. They walked downstairs slowly. The radio sat on the shelf where it had always been. Michael reached it, pressed the power button. The music stopped. Silence. They stood there, not moving. Then Sarah laughed. Nervous. Oh. Old house. Weird wiring. It's fine. But Michael didn't look convinced. He glanced around the room like he was looking for someone. Yeah, he muttered. Probably. The next night, Sunday, Michael went to bed early, climbed under the covers, laid his head on the pillow, then froze. Something hard pressed against the back of his skull. He sat up slowly, reached under the pillow, pulled it out. The detonator. The same black device he'd put in my bag. Yellow light, blinking. Slow, steady, and taped to it a small piece of paper. Handwritten. "You forgot to turn this off, son. Dad." Michael screamed. Threw the device across the room like it was on fire. "No, no, no." Sarah burst through the door. "What? What is it?" Michael pointed at the floor, hand shaking. "That. How is it here?" Sarah stared at the device. Her face went pale. "Someone's messing with us," she whispered. "It's him," Michael shouted. "He's not gone. He knows." Sarah slapped him. Hard. "Shut up. Get it together." She grabbed his shoulders. "He's gone. We saw the body. Remember?" Michael collapsed onto the bed. Hands over his face. Whole body trembling. "Then who did this?" he whispered. "Who?" In the safe house, I watched him curl up on the bed, rocking back and forth. Then I heard it, barely audible through the camera mic. "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry." I closed my eyes. Martinez didn't say anything, just handed me a tissue. 3 days later, they walked into the insurance office in Manhattan, and we were waiting. Thursday, December 21st, 11:00 a.m. The insurance company occupied the 35th floor of a glass tower in Midtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Polished conference table. 3 executives in suits. And a reckoning. Michael and Sarah walked in, dressed in black. Professional. Composed. Sarah shook the director's hand. "Thank you for meeting during such a difficult time." The director, gray-haired man, 60s, nodded. "Our condolences. Please, sit." They sat. Sarah folded her hands. Michael's leg bounced under the table. The director slid papers across the table. "Before we process the payout, standard procedure requires us to review the timeline." Michael nodded quickly. "Of course. Whatever you need." The director pressed a button. A screen descended from the ceiling. Lights dimmed. "This footage," he said calmly, "was retrieved from Mr. Chen's home security system." The screen flickered to life. Garage. December 17th. Darfiel. 2:34 a.m. The camera showed everything. Michael kneeling beside my car. Opening the door. Sliding underneath. His hands working quickly, securing the package beneath the seat. Sarah standing beside him. Holding the detonator. Placing it carefully in the bag. Zipping it shut. Clear. Undeniable. Damning. Michael's face went white. Sweat beaded on his forehead. Sarah stood abruptly. "This is fake. It's been edited." The director didn't blink. "This footage was taken from your father-in-law's security camera. Cloud stored, time-stamped. Admissible in court." "He didn't have cameras in the garage," Sarah said. A voice spoke from the doorway. "Call me on. Daddy." "Actually, I did." Michael turned. Froze. I stepped into the room. Gray, suit. Healthy. Alive. Michael's mouth opened. No sound came out. Then, "No, no, no, no." He collapsed in the chair. Hands over his face. Sobbing. Sarah spun toward the door, but Detective Martinez blocked her path. 2 uniformed officers stepped in behind her. "Sarah Chen," Martinez said quietly. "You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder and insurance fraud." An officer moved forward with handcuffs. Sarah jerked back, eyes wild. "It was him," she screamed, pointing at Michael. "He planned everything. I didn't know." "You liar!" Michael looked up, tears streaming. "It was your idea. You researched it. You made me do it. You're pathetic." Sarah's face twisted with rage. "Weak. Just like your father always said. The officer cuffed her wrists. She thrashed, but they held firm. You'll rot for this, she hissed at Michael. You'll rot alone. They pulled her toward the door. She was still screaming when they dragged her into the hallway. I walked slowly toward my son. Stopped a few feet away. Michael looked up at me. Eyes red. Face broken. Dad, I'm sorry. She made me. I was desperate. I didn't want to. My voice was ice. You hugged me goodbye. You told me to drive safe. You called me Dad. And then you sent me toward my death. Don't insult me with apologies. An officer stepped forward. Sorry to take him. I nodded. Stepped back. They cuffed Michael. He didn't resist. Just kept crying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They led him out. His voice echoed down the hall until the elevator doors closed. I stood alone in the center of the room, staring at the empty doorway. Martinez approached quietly. You okay? I wasn't, but I said, it's over. 6 months later, the courtroom was packed. Reporters. Cameras. Everyone wanted to see the son and daughter-in-law who tried to kill a father for money. Detective Martinez testified. Played the garage footage. Explained Sarah's research. The forged signature. The explosive device. Sarah received life in prison. No parole. Michael received 30 years. Sarah smiled coldly when they read her sentence. Michael sobbed. I felt nothing. Today I live in a small apartment in White Plains. Simple furniture. No garage. No fancy car. I sold the house. Donated most of the money. Kept enough to live quietly. 3 mornings a week, I volunteer at a senior center. I read to residents who can't see well anymore. I listen to their stories. I sit with them when they're lonely. In the evenings I sit on my balcony and watch the sun set over the Hudson. I think about what I lost and what I saved. I lost my son, but I saved my soul. Michael writes me letters from prison. I don't read them. Sarah learned what it means to lose everything. Beauty, freedom, control. She's aging in a cell, alone, ill, forgotten. And me? I'm free, not rich, not surrounded by family, but I'm living, truly living. And that's worth more than $1.50 million. I'm Robert Chen, 64 years old, retired engineer, the man whose son tried to erase him for insurance money. This is my true story. Every word you just heard happened, and it's a lesson you need to hear, because it could save your life. Don't be like me. I trusted blindly. I gave my son everything. Money, light, shelter, or second chances. I ignored the red flags, the spending, the entitlement, the coldness in Sarah's eyes. I thought love could fix greed. It can't. Greed is poison. It corrupts from within. And when you enable it, when you hand your children wealth without teaching them responsibility, you're not helping them. You're destroying them. If this story touched you, comment below and tell me, where are you watching from? What's the one lesson you're taking away? And if you want more true stories like this, real family drama, survival stories, lessons from people who've lived them, hit that subscribe button right now. Because wisdom isn't just learned. It's shared. Thank you for listening. Stay wise. Stay safe. And remember, trust your instincts. They might just save your life.